So you hear what they do to women. You hear how nasty they are to women. You hear the disgusting things they've done to women. And matter of fact, sorry, you hear this woman later saying, what kind of woman? You're not even a woman. They have this trash doing that to me. A lot of them female gender, or at least, let me repeat that. The female gendered progressive psyops wants to be seen. There's a lot of male involved. There's like one thing I can sure all kind of people involved. Black, white, all races, all culture, everywhere I go. But the reason why I'm calling out this psyop is these wanting to create this like, now we gonna pay, you gonna pay our women. They have this like fraudulence. Well, the guys are embarrassed, not even embarrassed, but they try to paint that because we are this female group, we're doing that, we're different, and I see the guys that do that too. It's like, oh, you're different. Because I know they're not different. They are the same people who torture women and children. They are disgusting. Even in 2007, there was a woman who was describing the perps that moved next to her. They're like, oh, they try to be this organization, or they represent themselves as this organization. My goodness, they start forcing her to get stimulation toward children. They are nasty bottom feeders. Let me show you who put me in this program. And you gotta understand why this IOP is being implemented onto me. And I don't. This is a recording with me talking to a manager of mine. I was putting this program when I was working for a company, extremely conservative. So conservative today that they participated, they donated a lot of money to very conservative agenda, including, I mean a lot, lads, like impactful lads, like newsworthy lads. To the point that these bottom feeders are even trying to minimize their contribution in these conservative ways of doing things. It's so disgusting. They donated money to even Roe versus Wade change, flip the abortion rights law thing to remove that. You know how backward that is? They donated so much money to this extremely conservative. Now, I'm not here to talk politics, but this trash, the psyop they try to create, they completely are war with reality. They get super, like immediately when I bring up reality, they're like, oh no, it's our money, it's our money, no, you're gonna die. It's like, shut up, I know who put me in this program. This is me recording my conversation with my manager, knowing that something's going on. But that was toward the end. It was already like, I was already...
The small petty things makes no sense. You know, it doesn't, I want to be as productive and impactful and accept criticism without feeling there's something behind it. Or there's some, I just want to, I'm okay, I like to be critiqued because that's how you get better. But when I feel like there's something behind it, there's something that's just, then you become defensive. I know.
And it goes on. I don't want to bring his voice, but I'm interacting with somebody. I'm recording. I have this phone turned on, recording. That's a few months before I decided to quit because it was just too much. I dealt with that for 5 years. And now this trash, whose job is to create a new reality. But reality always hit. Yesterday I saw this trash. And listen, I don't think she's doing a lot of things to make her, like, she's just sitting there watching me slowly die and do whatever things that's happening to me via this technology, right? I saw this, I'm like, man, something's off about her. She don't look like the same. It's like, look at you. This shit's gonna come back to reality. Comes one way or another. You know this shit's gonna come back to you, but you're just nobody. I understand. Please understand. Like when I'm suffering in ways that I can understand, I will not think about this retard. I think about who put me in this program. that destroyed my life, and now I'm dying in these horrible ways because of him. These retards, these psyops, the trash of these governmental entities that can even do that to babies. But I wish I had a picture of this like older man over there. Oh, he is just a nasty trash. He sold his own children to these pedophiles. Yes, these entities with these issues.
Recently endorsed and helped pass key legislation in Congress, the End National Defense and Network Abuse Act. The provision, authored by Senator Brain Schatz, D. High, and co-sponsored by Senator Lisa Murkowski RAK, is included in the annual National Defense Authorization Act and is expected to be signed into law. The End Network Abuse Act would assist the Pentagon in stopping the Department of Defense's DoD illegal use of the government network to view, possess, trade, and even produce child pornography. Millions of child sexual abuse images are being shared across the internet. Over 45 million online photos and videos were reported to tech companies in 2018 alone. The use of child pornography is not limited to the DoD, but data from 2018 revealed the DOD's network ranked 19th out of 2,891 nationwide networks when it came to peer-to-peer trading of child pornography.
They are here torturing. Sorry. They sold their children to these entities, and they utilize this pedophilia type of nastiness to break you down. Then try to make themselves believe that there's some kind of like venging this trash ass. You want to hear what they do to women? But this man that I see in the hallway, I'm listening to this about the issue with the pedophilia issues. I called him. I was like, you sold your soul to pedophiles. Listen, try to even stop producing child porn. No one is sharing within the DoD network group producing child porn. You know how disgusting this trash are? They are destroying. Like, can you imagine what happens? These people are around children. You know that. And while these people, this nasty trash are out here manipulating people's brain in these disgusting ways, and want to enjoy this love, this fantasy of theirs, to make themselves believe in this fantasy they've created, to make them feel empowered, when in truth you just sold yourself to pedophiles and this. Now you are here doing pedophilia type of torture to people. Cowardly that you are. They have to. If you are a brave individual, this is not your time to show your bravery. You're gonna have to dumb yourself down and show the cowardness that you didn't even. You're gonna have to showcase a cowardness, display cowardness that you can't even comprehend. It's gonna be cowardness that in your life you will never ever reach that level of cowardness. Listen to your coworkers. Look at some of your coworkers. Let me show you the level of cowardness, and this is not the most cowardness. This is the most pathetic part. This is as brave as it gets. And they become more and more cowardly with these things that I'm listening to. You know how nasty it gets? So to see this grown, late 50s, early 60-year-old men who obviously have children, and he's such a creepy looking man. I'm sorry. Like, I know some people, like, the looks don't mean nothing, but to look at him with this creepy smile. And I'm listening to the issue of child pornography and everything, and I know he has children, that he's, the way, in this apartment, I remember one child came out looking super mentally handicapped. And I know she made herself look like that. They tried to recreate, they were wanting me to have this perception, but the way she came out of this apartment was so childlikely, she was just like, it was so gimmicky. She came out looking like a mentally handicapped child. And I know she wasn't. I know she was acting this way. I started laughing. And I know this trash over there told her to come out. And I'm looking, look. You send your kids to this, pay those. For what? Is it money? Humiliating your children like that. Look how your child comes out because you think that's what she's supposed to act like. Coming retarded. I'm sorry for using that language, but coming out this mentally like, what's going on? Open the door. Like, where are you going anyways? Coming like, I'm like, oh my gosh. Imagine I said like, okay, when I come out in my apartment, I'm gonna come out like that. You see how I look. So she walks. It's like, whoa, and I started laughing. Like they try to make me look at, create this perception. They have this technology has the ability to manipulate your perception. So they will try to create some like womanly features, but the level of how childlike she looked, how mentally handicapped she looked. And I knew, can you imagine, like it's like when somebody's trying to look a certain way, like when somebody's trying to act mentally handicapped, but she didn't know. I think in her mind she wanted to look more childish, but she looked like she was mentally handicapped. And she comes out. I'm like, jeez, I start laughing. And I'm looking at this grown man. This is the entities you sell your retard over there? Listen. Nasty, pathetic trash. You know, like their apartment, I remember and I had a video, I removed it because you can see the face of this like teenage kid. She was trying to she was trying to make herself like have curves, and she like tried to like, and you look at her, it's like, you look like my twin. We have the same body shape. I removed that because her face, it's like you can see her. So look at that. You sold your soul to pedophiles, and you hear that now you pay. And I was like, trash. Look at you, bunch of pedophiles. You talk about me because what he's trying to talk about, me as this, at this age. At this age. Middle schoolers. Well, I know what they do to kids. You want to hear some sample what nastiness they do to children? This shit that sold these children to pedophiles.
And severity. Vacation all day, every day, for about 2 months straight, and that's also when they made it worse when I eat. And I also work with a 4-year-old little girl with Down syndrome, as well as her 5-year-old sister, who also has Down syndrome. I observed both of these girls suddenly grabbing their genitals in pain and verbalizing, ow. I observed this at least on 1 or 2 occasions for each of them during their separate sessions. During one session, I observed one of my 3-year-old clients suddenly grab his crotch and lean forward in his...
This is the sexual torture. Some of the other torture are not just sexual, but even making infants sick.
And spent most of the time we had with her. They told us she would ultimately die from this syndrome. Thank God that Lerner's syndrome was not what affected our daughter. Doctors are still dumbfounded by her rash and symptoms. Sadly, we know that her symptoms were effects from the torture this poor innocent 3-week-old baby endured. Recently, I lost complete... I exhibited...
A 3-week-old. And then you see this trash, like, you can pay now, trash us. You're out here torturing babies. You nasty lowlife. And the entities that contract you, lowlife, has been doing horrible things to children. Child porn. Even producing. What do you think they do to these kids? You nasty. And he looks at his phone like, these kids. like them. You see how they're looking at their phone? They think that because they're looking at their phone now, that is just like they're looking at how was like as if my reaction of the way I'm reacting to things are not happening naturally, and they're just looking at, oh, they're examining, they're looking, they're analyzing, they're trash. You should see who's like, oh yeah, you're an analyst, a protect. Look, I don't know, they can see themselves. And then when I bring the reality of things like, oh, you're gonna be framed, like, yes, that's what you do. You do nasty shit, and you're gonna be reimbursed properly. I can call you pedophiles. You hear your child, like people who call me pedo, but they don't want to be seen because they know who's the pedos, and they know that it's obvious that they do this pedophile type of torture. Yesterday, matter of fact, this old man. And when I mean old, he's not really that old. He's like 60. But I say he's older in the sense in comparison to the people here. I remember I went to the elevator and they've been fucking messing with me. Even the memories have been changed into the worst things. Me and him, we go to the elevator. He comes in with me. One day I'm going to insult him to a level. I already started insulting him from afar. He looked at me, he just waved. I was like, pedo. Because I'm listening to what they do. The child pornography issues, producing, this is what you work for, you nasty low life. Disgusting trash. I don't know whatever you're gonna see in my screaming, but trust, this is what you sold your soul to, and I know that you're gonna get yours. Me, I know my screaming now. It's not because of you. You did your part, but without you there, it was gonna happen. Now I'm here to show you what you're part of. You had to. You could have lived a life of dignity. Now look, in every way you've been humiliated. We're going to the elevator. I'm going to the elevator. He's in it too. And out of nowhere, a mother and her little girl come. Very adorable little girl. Maybe between 5 and 6 years old. Maybe 7 years old max. And they are right like a little bit behind me, but not like almost by my side, but a little bit behind me. The man that I'm talking about is like on my level. He turns around and just like waves, say hi to the little girl, and the little girl say hi like that. This is very wholesome. Of course, with me, they do this nasty reaction, nasty stimulation, but it doesn't end there. Later on, they make me think of that moment again. Of course, with the stimulation they made me experience. But they start making me imagine the butt area of this kid, and creating some disturbing perception. When it's not even possible, the baby's there, so I'm looking at this trash waving, they're there, and he just do that, and I can see them, but on the corner of my eye, she's like doing this. And they of course give me the estimation, but now they're like, no, but you see how you thought, how you look, how you perceive this kid. I was like, she nasty trash. To try to make me look at this baby in a sexual way, and then create perception on the baby for what? But what? Nasty bottom fears. And then he comes up because they were bringing back these things they've done to me. He comes out and look at his phone like that, as if looking at his phone makes that what I'm experiencing is happening naturally. Like I don't know they manipulate the perceptions. Like I don't know they manipulate memories. Like I don't know they manipulate my reactions. They could definitely make me experience that in real time. By that time, the kid was just, the baby was just right here. So I could just see, like from the corner, them just like, when your eye you can see what's on this side. And I could see him just like doing that, waving. And they try to make me imagine like this kid's butt. It's nasty. And they're like, no, but maybe with the angle you could see a little bit. It's like, ugh, trash ass. And then you have this trash like, now we map it. Look how they're looking at their phone. Look, they map it. Look, they're not doing the pedophilia type of torture. They're not doing the perception disgusting things. They don't do that. They're mapping. They're mapping. These people here that you see here looking at their phone are obviously not doing these things.
This is a common breakdown tactic.
This is the alteration of the smell sensation, so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams and videos in my...
They don't do the pedophilia type of torture. Look at how they look at their phone.
It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind. But he thought of that. This disgusting thing. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting thing that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they do it. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through weapons. I don't know. I don't care.
So you heard him or her saying that changing her who she is, putting thoughts of pedophilia. She didn't even finish the word pedophilia thoughts. And then literally said, there's people around. I don't know if there's people surrounding me doing this, what, like neighbors. But no, these people obviously look at them. They're examining. They're mapping. They won't manipulate me in this disgusting pedophilia ways. How? Look how they looked at the phone. They're mapping. They're not manipulating my brain in these pedophilia ways. You see how they're holding their phone? It's for sure. Oh no, but you want to hear more? This is a woman.
Every night that I thought how that could happen, but then I told them that facts continue. I don't let them get me. Today they continue.
Let me say, this woman said that she's been going through this for years, decades. And then there's like a new group of people who moved next to her. This group of people wanted to create this appearance that they were like an organization of goodness, as she says. Basically, people who are protecting the community, good people, right? That's what you... And they started doing these nasty things to her, right? After these people moved in, where they will make her have this disgusting reaction.
But this time they are aiming at views. But people, better said young people, also children and homosexuals.
So they'll do this program perversion, as she said. This program perversion that she talks about started off when she was petting her dog. She started feeling a weird sensation. And then she started laughing. It's like, I know what you guys are trying to do. You want me to have some sexual reaction to this dog that I'm petting, her own dog. Then they start doing this thing where they aim this program perversion and aim it toward these children. Young people, children, and even homosexual, just to mess with her. Obviously, the homosexual part is probably not the worst thing that she gets. But I'm sure having this reaction to children is disturbing. And once again, she calls out that these people move next to her. It's always this, they have the same patterns, it's systematically done. But hey, look at how they look at their phone. You see? They're analyzing. They won't do this pedophilia type of torture. They're so gimmicky. It's like they make you experience something, they manipulate my brain however way with this nasty manipulation of memory, the perception manipulation, the reaction, the stimulation. They look at their phone like, oh. They look at their phone and like, oh my gosh, oh, I just saw that. We caught you experience that. Like that. That means that we're not manipulating you. You see? I'm looking at my phone. to let you know that they saw what happens. Like not only you saw what happened, what I just experienced, you're even participating in how this is happening to me. You're the trash that they describe, moving around people or doing this to neighbors. You're this trash. And please, this is the trash that Jackie said the neighbors are doing these things. And I don't want that to be like the thinking that they're around this. I'm saying that's how they look in different ages and gender. So this older man was bringing because they're bringing back this ways of they mess with me, these babies, which not only they bring up what they make me experience in real time because they give me the stimulation, but then how they change things in my brain. They can go back in your memories and play with your memories and add things that weren't there. So to add more to the nasty things that I experienced, they put this perception of this kid's backhand. A baby, what? It's so nasty, and you see this just like, and to be honest, it's very wholesome because I feel bad for these babies. These babies they're babies. You see the mother dragging her in. You see this trash. The reason why he turns around away is because they know the reaction I'm going to experience is going to be the reaction they make me experience, and then they're going to look at their phone like this, and make it sound like or make it feel like, oh my gosh, I just saw that. Nasty bottom feeders. Matter of fact, in regard of how they can even go back into your memories and play with your memories, it's just
able to impose any information on the brain of a person, probably by some kind of waves, which in the mind take the form of voices, thoughts, and images in imagination. In addition to this kind of implanting information that they need, they manipulate the psyche so that the information is written into your memory. Then by stimulating the certain regions in the brain, they can retrieve this information and present it as your own memory. This is the conclusion that can be made judging by the influence they have been making on the...
You hear that? Let me bring that up again.
Able to present it as your own memory. This is the conclusion that can be made judging by the influence they have been making on me with their psychotronic weapons, for example, artificial thoughts, imagination, and mental torture.
So they create these false memories, or in this case, I'm speaking about, they add to this nastiness, where not only I get the nasty reaction that they make me experience in real time when I saw this baby, but then they add to the memories to create this disturbing, tormenting even thoughts. And then you have trash like that to try to get you to identify with this. They look at their phone like, oh my gosh, we just saw this. It's nasty. Nasty. In every ways, everything they've done has been shown to be systematic. They do the pedophilia type of torture. They do this nastiness. And they even sell their own babies to these pedophile entities. Pedophile entities. This.
Recently endorsed and helped pass key legislation in Congress, the End National Defense and Network Abuse Act. The provision, authored by Senator Brain Schatz, D. High, and co-sponsored by Senator Lisa Murkowski RAK, is included in the annual National Defense Authorization Act and is expected to be signed into law. The End Network Abuse Act would assist the Pentagon in stopping the Department of Defense's DoD illegal use of the government network to view, possess, trade, and even produce child pornography.
This is the shit that work for these entities where even production of child porn is done on DoD networking. They're nasty. And I heard some trash say, pay for it because they're trying to bring up what I did as a kid. You understand what they involved? Even torturing children in this program is done. You heard them. You heard this woman with her young child being target test subjects. You heard this 3-year-old, this 4-year-old, this 5-year-old, this 7-year-old. Most of them are having some kind of mental handicap, being sexually tortured. You hear this 3-week-old tortured to the point of getting sick, 3-week old, an infant who's fresh out of the womb, fresh out of the just being tortured, and you hear this trash who wants me to let them live their fantasy. One, first making me experience this nasty reaction, which you heard they do that to others. Almost all target individuals. Matter of fact, here. Almost all.
This is both include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds.
Almost all target individuals are forced to have this nasty child pornography in their mind. Coming from entities where child pornography is such an issue, they're trying to come up with a bill to slow these things down. So far, it hasn't worked. Nasty bottom feeders. And so I hear how they're going to frame me. Listen, there's the things, the way they say they're going to frame me, they tell me in ways. One, they're going to, I hear these children talking, oh, yeah, you raped me. Some nasty things like, and she's like, I'm 13 years old. So they're saying that they're going to they're going to make this thing up where they're going to say I did something to a 13-year-old. And they're going to coerce this child to go along. This child is doomed. It's doomed. I'm telling you, she's done. Her life is over. She can never function anymore as a normal person. Once you involve yourself in coerce in this kind of, this over. It's over. They try to make her like to hype this kid. I could hear her. I could hear her to say like, "Oh yeah, she's brave." You're not brave. You're doomed. You've been sold to pedophiles. You think these people can be normal? Like no. Forever you'll be awaiting for the day for these things to come back to you. I didn't even let them live their fantasy. They heard the cowardice of these people involved in the program that even torture babies. Raping them? Sorry. They don't rape them. They use this technology to hurt them sexually. Children. So doing horrible. You want to hear what they do to women? This is what they do to women.
Experiences, including my reactions and responses, knocking, swaying, jolts. The torture was. They also often forced vaginal over my knees and hands when hitting the hard floor. Then once on the floor, I would be attacked so severely, nearly to the point of passing out and rolling my eyes to the back of my head in such excruciating agony for many, many hours on a regular, nearly daily basis.
This story goes on. Is sexual torture, is psychological torture, is other torture, and destroying her body and creating pain and torment that is just pure agony. They do that to a lot of women. They're nasty bottom feeders. Trash. But somehow want me to like forget what they do to women. Destroying this woman's life in ways that you can't even comprehend. The sexual torture, and then try to present themselves, we're doing it for this. Shut up. You see what you do to women. This kind of things that you can do to women and will involve in a program that can do this. These people deserve something that's not even on this planet. What is needed for them, it cannot me. I can myself provide that. So let fate handle that. So when they have these kids saying, "No, I'm sorry," because they try to talk about me and this girl called Courtney. It's like, remember, not even Courtney, it's Brittany. It's like, you remember you say sorry. It's like, I talked to Brittany, she's living her best life. You hear the testimony of this. Are they living their best life? Are they able to raise their children in peace? This is your stories, your destructions. Nasty bottom feeder. And you think I'm going to let you live your fantasy with the amount of horribleness you've done to these women? These people deserve something beyond this earth. The disturbing things they've done, I can never let them escape. And so when they could send these children and tell that they're going to frame me using this kid, like nasty. You sell your trash. They were making fun. I remember being on the flight and they were making fun of, because they're talking about how they're going to frame me. It's like, yes, don't worry, she's going to get the best psychiatrist. And they talk about this because I was like, this destroys you. Like as a kid, you go through this thing, you do these things, you can never be normal. Can you imagine me? I'm a child and I'm being told, okay, say that this person did these things to you. So you're gonna be brave. You're gonna be brave. Oh, gosh. So that's brave. Wow. Yes. It's like, yeah, you're doing for us. Yeah, brave. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. It's so nasty. Then you know the reality. Trash. Just this largest mass shooting just happened. The largest mass shooting just happened this year because of this same program that is thanking her for being so brave. Nasty bottom feeders. And so I'm waiting to see, because I know when I see them, it validates me even more. And the way that they say they're gonna frame me is like, I don't know if it's true. They make it seem like when I'm completely asleep, they can manipulate me. Now I know there's a lot of manipulation that can happen when I'm awake. When I'm sleeping, I feel like they obviously manipulate my dreams. I don't feel like I'm being manipulated to move around and get out. Like I don't think this is happening. I don't feel like it's happening. But would I be surprised if that's something they can do? No. No, because there's testimonials of women saying that, like, I wake up and things have happened to me, and it seems like when I lock the doors, I lock all the doors, like, and the doors with the chains and everything else. So that means that somehow when she's asleep, she can wake up, open up the door, and let people come in. So is that possible that this is happening to me? I don't know. And then they come in and have this trash coming. I don't know if it's true. But there's going to be some kind of frame one way or another that's going to be applied. Some other frames, they say they're going to download child porn. You see this person? They say they're going to implant child porn. So, whatever it goes down, however it goes down, first of all, I just want to thank God to let me see things for what they are. Every day is just disgusting things. Matter of fact, yesterday was just another, right before I went to bed, and now I'm going to wrap up, because my videos are testimonials of when I go through. And this perps want you to identify with these things of manipulation. They crank up my libido so much. They use your libido against you. Sexual arousal. Let me show you. Let me just hear how obvious things are. Arousals are manipulated. This.
This technology can be used to sexually manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal or...
So they can manipulate your sexual arousals. They can make you feel sexual arousals, and for me, they've been doing it in these disgusting ways. Obviously, pedophilia-centric. These people are very pedophilia-centric. And so, what happened is, at some points, for me, I'm like, I need to get rid of these sexual arousals. it's just too much. So I'm gonna watch adult content. At some point, I don't like to do that. Matter of fact, I don't think it's healthy. Even if you're not like no, I'm talking about like just in general, not targeting visual specific. I don't think watching adult content is a healthy thing for you, and I don't think one should do it. At least do it very minimally, because I don't think it's good for you. But in this case, for me, because they play with my sexual arousal so much, I'm like, okay, well, I'm tired of how they're aiming this nasty this sexual arousals and aiming toward children. Let me watch adult content. This is where my sexual arousals will be real. And but I'm hesitant. I don't want to do it because I know that it just doesn't feel good. And on top of that, they make it worse because they then implant children while I'm watching adult content. They implant children in my head. So I'm watching a man and woman, the adult men and women having sexual interaction, and then they implant thoughts of children in my head while I'm watching adult women, adult women and men doing adult content things. And when I climax, they wait for that time to put children in my head to disturb me. It's so nasty. So I do things to try to like stop this. So I know like now it's like oh I don't even want to go through that. It's just so disturbing. It is super disturbing. It's just nasty. It's just so hard to. It's so nasty. And then they're like, now we match this. It's like this is so disgusting. You know they can plant thoughts whenever. But in fact, here, let me show you what they can do.
V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind.
So they can plant thoughts in your mind and make you think of a child while you're climaxing watching adult content. And they've done it so much for me, so much. Every like since August, all the time. And like now we matched it. It's like yeah, you matched it too. Like last time you did it. Nasty bottom feeders. And then you hear this, it's your dad, and they try to act this fake attitude. It's your dad. It's like he's such a gimmick. I went to the hallways as I was listening to the issue of pedophilia, and you see this trash look in the ways like, look at this shit. Look, she's scared to even look. She's not scared of me being aggressive. She's scared to be seen and be associated with the reality of what these people do, what they're part of. But like I said, I was contemplating watching adult content, but at the same time, I'm hesitant because you know what they can do. They can implant children in your mind while you're watching it, while you're climaxing, just out of nowhere, and they do that not just that, but also create this like contractions of the sphincter. You go look it up. What's the sphincter if you don't know? Urethral sphincter of a male. And you know it's them doing it, and you're like, oh gosh, and it's just disgusting feeling that brings back to the things they've done to me so many times. It's just so disgusting. I'm so scared when I'm about to climax. I go, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. What is it gonna happen now? It's gonna happen now. And they wait, and they do this feeling that brings me back to when they did it not too long ago. It's so disturbing. And so I'm super hesitant because already in the first place, watching adult contents to me is not healthy. I don't like the feeling of getting just the normal way. But now, when they do their nasty pedophilia things, it's just like, oh. So I'm like, should I? No, I'm not. I'm like back and forth. And then, for example, yesterday I purchased this thing for my place to catch fruits fly, right? And I want to see how this thing works. And this on Amazon, and at the end, it's like you see like the ad of like how this little thing, this device works. And on top of that, you see pictures of kids. Immediately they try to make me think, oh, go watch this adult content that you were thinking about watching before. It's like, oh my gosh, they try to create these things. Like, of course, this time is over. I'm not going to. I'll wait till the next day or a few more days. It is so nasty. And they'll wake me up and like do these things like with my organs, destroying my organs using this vibrating feeling that you get. Is probably some direct energy technology being applied onto you. And this is obviously the DoD technology. And then you see, remember what happens? Like, yes, the things you do to me all the time. To all my target individual, I will not let them lift the fantasy. Whatever's gonna happen, God give me strength. But thank you for letting me see things for what they are. Thank you. And to all target individuals, stay strong.